Beauty is a cutthroat business. Skincare comes to us from IFC Films and writer-director Austin Peters, who has done some music videos and was also the boy Phantom in the movie The Phantom. Yes, the one where Billy Zane donned that purple outfit and slammed evil with a ring. So that's a fun fact. It was also written by two other people, Sam Freelick and Deering Reagan. You can check out the respective IMDb pages for the full listens of their work. And Skincare had an early access screening at a theater 35 miles south of me, the same theater that I saw Suriko and the Kingdom of the Winds in just about 24 hours ago. So I decided travel back down there again and see, does this mystery thriller actually honor the career legacy of Elizabeth Banks? Because she's a star as Hope Goldman, who has a line of beauty products, and she's about to take her business worldwide. She's just got to get over the last hump, and she's about to do that, but then a scandal is ready to absolutely crush and powderize her dreams, and she must solve this mystery before her entire life history is absolutely, totally done. Skincare Tales, woohoo! So there you go. That's pretty much it right there. The scandal happens quickly, and Hope must spring eternal and figure out what is actually going on. Who would want to ruin her life? She knows everybody, where everybody knows her name, and she's always glad they came. And that's actually kind of what the scandal involves. It's a little bit of a dirty, tantalizing thing, and it's kind of gross. It's obvious that somebody is messing with her life. Who could it be? Could it be a man named Angel, or Angel, as I'm just going to call him, that has his own skincare place that moved just across the, I guess, little villa, like strip mall area that they have. The houses kind of look like they're almost rustic Italian villas, wherever the fuck they are. And he's got his own skincare thing, and he's propping that up, and a lot of her clients are going over there, and she thinks that he is the one doing it. And I'm not going to spoil right now who it is, but I figured out immediately who it was, because there's one particular character that introduces themselves to Hope, and then during a scene a little bit later on, they revealed they had an interaction with Hope that, led to them really appreciating their hard work and everything. And the way it was laid on, I said, they're responsible, and I was right. Because that's about the depth of, plot and mystery and thrills involved in this mystery thriller. There's no mystery to it, because again, it's obvious who did it. There's no thrills. It just exists. It simply exists to take up 90 minutes of screen time. And I do not understand how this got a theatrical release when I see so many movies drop on streaming, horror and drama and whatever. They could have honestly benefited from a theatrical release. I'm not saying there wasn't talent behind the camera. I'm not saying there isn't talent in front of the camera. I mean, you have John Billingsley, but you do have the incredibly attractive, somehow 50-year-old Elizabeth Banks, who really has not aged since Slither. She looks fucking incredible. So, nevertheless, you do have some talent in front, and, as far as, like, people wanting to do, even if it's a basic mystery thriller, if you have some good dark comedy, if you have some good elements, great. You can, take these well-worn cliches and make them, something that people can enjoy. Or you could do what they did in Skincare and basically do none of that and sand everything off that could be considered, oh my God, this is so, great or whatever. Oh, we could, do something cool here. No, let's just sand that down and make that minute. And wait, we have this character that could have an interesting arc. Nope, let's just slam that down right there. What? Let's not have any interesting aspects of any of the characters. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did right there. I'm not going to lie. Despite wanting to give this a chance, it became painfully obvious very early on this was going to be bland, generic, and boring, and my God, was it all that and a bag of goddamn open chips. Chips that were busted open during the delivery, only so much that they were stale. Not to the point that the bag burst, but just enough to where when you bought it, you tore into it, and you realized they were stale. And then you realized you spent $5 on a bag of chips, so you decided to eat it all, and then you hated yourself, and it gave you gas. This movie gave me gas. This movie also felt like it was expelling gas, and making us huff it, and likely wanting to pass out, which would have been a better alternative than continuing to watch Skincare. For something that has Elizabeth Banks with beauty products and her trying to give her all, despite the script having about that much fucking material, yeah, this was not good. Not good at all. Any of the twists were not necessarily what you would call twists. They were just things that like, oh, this would be really cool. And, oh, wait, let's just go over here. Forget about that. Let's go here. And, well, they all know who the villain is. We all know who the fucking villain is. And we don't even care about Hope. I'm sorry. Hope, there is no hope. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Or ye who enter her. However that phrase goes. Not good. Not good at all. It's going to be in theaters later this week if you want to check it out. During the, raucous, terror that is Alien Romulus. And also a lot of other movies. It'll probably find a life on streaming. And look, maybe I have seen worse than this year, but this is generic, bland, and I pretty much hated it because it had no meat to it. It literally had scraps of like rotting flesh on the bone. And any of the attempts at comedy didn't work. None of the characters were well developed. The story was not good. You started at the very beginning where it basically revealed how the movie was going to end. And then we smash cut to 2 weeks earlier, and then we go on from there. The guy from Castle is in this. Yeah, that guy. And there are some recognizable faces. So yeah, I'm going to get into spoilers if you want to check it out. Again, in theaters for a bit, and probably on streaming sooner than you could blink. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, she has this business going. She does this, sit-down interview with the guy from Castle and his news anchorette. And things are going great. They've got clients, but she's poured all her money into this business. This guy, Angel, or Angel, whatever, moves in, just across the street. And he doesn't mean anything, malicious. He is kind of a dick. He's kind of weird, but he doesn't mean anything malicious. Hope, if anything, is taking it way too personally. She also has a relationship with Jeff John Billingsley, who is kind of the landlord and is exploring other options for the properties, needs the rent. She's always been good to him, but things are starting to fall behind. She just needs to get over the hump. There's also the CEO, Margaret, who, that actress is beautiful. Good grief, she is. She, she really wants this thing to succeed. And then, just before that, she has a client come in, Hope does, where there's a guy named Jordan. And Jordan basically takes a liking to her. Almost too quick of a liking to her. Pretty goddamn obvious weird things are going on. Also, then this hack thing happens where everything is sent out to all her clients, where it is basically saying that my life has turned to ash and I just really need some hard dick. So yeah, it's basically just a Penthouse forum thing. Or so I've heard. I only ever read it for the articles. So that being said, she now has to try and clean up her reputation. This guy Jordan is a life coach. Turns out he has some seedy shit about him. He also used to do photography and did photography on a particular shoot that she did, but she doesn't remember him. Gee, I wonder who it is. It's him. It's Jordan. It's painfully obvious it's Jordan. It's even obvious it's Jordan before he reveals that, but then that just cements it. There's a guy, Armand, that's a mechanic that helps out Hope, and apparently she knows him well. He knows her well. He jacks her up and, fixes her tires and rotates her and everything, if you know what I mean. Or maybe wants to. But yeah, her tires end up slashed. She thinks this Angel's actually Jordan. Jordan's just doing this to wreck with her life. Because she had everything, and she spurned him. Or maybe he made up the photography thing and never actually did it, because you never actually get to see if, you see him shoot on a phone and everything, but he also turns out to have some prison tattoo things. And also, there was a guy that showed up that pretended to be this, guy that wanted to fuck the hell out of Elizabeth Banks. Granted, Elizabeth Banks, beautiful woman. I don't know what guy or girl would be able to resist the temptation to say, sure, I'd like to, but you gotta have boundaries, guys. If a woman's not interested in you, you don't fucking do anything about it. You just say, okay, let's move on from that. So, that being said, it turns out that guy that shows up that Jordan chokes out, he actually was somebody that works with Jordan. Because Jordan's doing life coach stuff and doing this, and his character has absolutely no arc. He did earlier, try to help Hope. offered to set up a bunch of stuff to launch her product because it was becoming difficult because of the scandal. She was losing her clients. She was offering free facials. Never mind. And he's just wanting to help her out. But it's all just a plot to basically drive her mad and ruin her life. Because movie. And it isn't Angel that our men guy, the mechanic, basically gets hired by Elizabeth Banks to beat up Angel, because it turns out that our man really will do just about anything a beautiful 50-year-old blonde happens to tell him. I can relate. That's all I'm going to say until the cases are settled. But our man beats up the wrong guy. It turns out that she finds out, oh my God, it's actually Jordan, which we all fucking knew, you stupid bitch of a character. Of a character, I emphasize. My God, every character in this movie is dumb. So Angel gets beat up, but our man gets hit in the head with a glass. There's broken glass everywhere. He's driving along, and a man crashes into him, and he's dead. And Jordan is going to get out of town, I guess, after telling the two goons, the one goon that he choked out and another guy, to go over to Hope's house, I guess, and take care of her. He's going to skip town. She ends up getting some mace at some point to protect herself after her tires got fixed, after they got slashed. And she is going to take care of Jordan. But there's a little thing that I did forget. There's a thing where the guy from Castle was offering, took her back, after like a nice dinner or whatever. And her interview got canned, and after her scandal got put on the back burner for Angels. He basically says, if you blow me, I'll put it back on. Oh, and then it turns out she was recording him. Or maybe wasn't recording him. Well, you gotta delete that. Don't worry, I deleted it. Totally deleted it. Also, then he sends a liaison guy from the studio to follow him. They kind of just, it looks like, just some guy with a weird, just, he would have a skullet if he let his hair grow out. He's not a very good creep. He's also wearing a very loud yellow shirt, so you're not very discreet. It turns out he works for the news station. All this stuff's going on. She beats up Jordan, and then it ends up getting revealed, by the way, that Hope had paid Armin to take care of Angel. See, I'm making this sound a lot more interesting than it actually is. And she gets arrested, because that was the very beginning of the movie. She's getting prepared in the mirror, and then there's police sirens out. And then we smash cut to 2 weeks earlier. So now we're back at the end. This movie should have just ended before it began. It's the end of the beginning is the end. She gets arrested. Jordan gets arrested. But she's going to have new fame, because her skincare product, now that she put out a hit on her competition, now she has new growing fans, I guess. Maybe. They air her news broadcast, and she's like, oh, we need to be comfortable in our own skin, and we need to fight for it. We need to do all this, and eat shit, skincare. The fuck. F. Terrible. Fucking terrible. Totally inconsistent, not funny, not mysterious, except for how it got made, and definitely not thrilling, and a waste of Elizabeth Banks. So yeah, F. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.